What's up, everybody? This is Snake Vapor, as the gaming community knows me as Snake373, and I'm coming at you with a video review for Transformers Devastation. Now, I know, it's been a while since I come out with a video review for any game out, and there's a good reason for that, but I'm not going to go into that right now. I just want to point out a few things before I get into this review. First off, I'm trying some things a little differently, and I will be probably for the next couple of video reviews. Basically, last one, for example, I had everything written down, well written down, and scripted and in detail. This one, I'm just going to go off the top of my head. Reason for that is simple. I just want to try a few review methods out, and I want to see how they work out for me, and see which one I'm more comfortable with doing, and hopefully I will achieve a shorter time for a video review. I don't know if 20 minutes is exactly a decent time for a video review. I think it's a little too long for some people. I'm not going to make it like 3 or 4 minutes. That's crazy. But probably like 10 to 12 minutes. Let's see if we can cut down that time in half with this video. Probably not with this intro. But anyways, here we go into the review. Hope you all enjoy it, and thanks for watching. Transformers Devastation. This game is developed by Platinum Games, the same company who brought you the very popular Bayonetta franchise, and of course other franchises such as Vanquish, Mad World, and of course they mingled a little bit with the Metal Gear license and created Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Now this one is published by Activision, and of course this game came out for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. So a lot of the more common platforms you'll be able to play this on. Very accessible, in my opinion. So, what makes this Transformers game different from the rest of them? Well, this one is more for a nostalgic, stroll down memory lane. As you can see from the aesthetics, this looks a lot more akin to the cartoon, I guess the 80s cartoon, old school cartoon. I don't know exactly what decade. I'm just going to say this right now. I'm not a Transformers fanatic. I'm very familiar with the characters and the franchise, but I have never watched a Transformers cartoon in my life. I probably watched one, which was the Death of Optimus Prime. That just seemed interesting. But I'm very familiar with the lore, and when I saw something like the Matrix of Leadership in the movies, I understood what that was. I understood the reference. I understood what it meant. So I'm not completely, oblivious to anything that this game has thrown at me. But I will say that I do not get that, oh my god, it's just like the cartoon feel. So I'm coming at this as a gamer who's watched all the Michael Bay movies. I'm not even going to get into that opinion there. Who's played all the video games that's come out for it, and who's meddled with the 90s cartoons, which, is like Beast Wars and stuff like that. Not really Transformers per se like this, but still linked in some way, shape, or form to the characters. Anyways, I digress. Let's move on with the review, and let's start with the graphics and see how those handle. So what you're seeing right now is the PlayStation 4 version of the game, and as you can see, it's not going to win Best Graphics of the Year. It's not. It doesn't have high details. In fact, I don't think it has much of any details in anything they've got in the game. It's very flat and bland in terms of textures, but in terms of aesthetic, it's perfect. This game sets out to replicate the looks of the 80s cartoons, and I think it achieved that. I mean, comparing it, I took a quick glimpse at a few episodes from the 80s cartoons just to compare to the graphics in this game, and I think what they did was a pretty good job. I'm not complaining. For the entire duration of this game that I played, the entire story mode from beginning to end, and this has a lot of replay value, by the way, but let me just continue on with this. It hasn't hurt my eyes at all. Graphics weren't distracting at all. They did one thing, and they did it pretty well. That was to immerse you in this style of cartoon design, I guess, or cartoon visuals that they was looking out to get. And it's pretty good. As you also notice too, that the color palette itself is really really bright, really out in your face. And although sometimes it might be a little distracting, especially with the special effects you have on weapons and ranged weapons and stuff, uh, overall, I don't think it hinders the game at all. I think it actually helps bring out the flavor of it. And by flavor, I mean the style that Platinum Games always brings to their games, such as the combos and the crazy, you know, the attacks that you can pull off. And as you can see, they've got a signature style that they've implemented pretty well in this game. So as far as graphics go, this isn't the best detailed, but the style of the graphics really do make up for the fact that it lacks a lot of detail we're used to seeing in games nowadays that come out around this time, at least the time that this game came out. And I think it did a pretty good job. I think there's no problems at all with it. It's a-okay. I'm not gonna rate it. I'm not gonna give it a star rating. It's ridiculous. It's just one part of the game. I don't do star ratings, but graphics, 2 thumbs up. You can't see it, but I got some thumbs up for this one in the air. Just I'm holding it to the screen. Never mind. Let's continue on.
Gotta use ranged weapons. Keep firing. They'll fall eventually.
Now the sound is absolutely perfect for this game. It works very well with the graphics to bring you into the 80s cartoon. Now, of course, if the 80s cartoon was like on crack and LSD and mushrooms in terms of the action, then yes, the 80s cartoon it is. But visually and audio-wise, it's perfect. It matches. They've got voice actors from the original 80s cartoon, including Peter Cullen, which of course is been the voice of Optimus Prime in anything Optimus has been included in. You know, if posters could talk, he'd be the voice actor for them as well, if it had Optimus Prime. In fact, if there's a game that has Optimus Prime in it, even if it's a cameo, and he is not the voice actor, you better not play that game. That is one game you should not play, because if he says no to that, then it's a pretty good reason that he said no to it. Anyways, so the voice acting is good. I will say that you will notice the voice acting, the delivery of the lines is very eccentric, very over the top, very cheesy writing, I guess, very cheesy script, and it's okay. It's all right. I think because of the style it goes for, I think it's very fitting. If it went for something of a more serious tone, like if this voice acting was in War for Cybertron, it would be very awkward and very out of place. But here it fits perfectly because this game doesn't take itself too seriously. So that being said, I think this game knows what it's trying to go for, and it delivers graphics, it delivers in sound, and you know, I won't give this one 2 thumbs up. Okay, yeah, I'll give it 2 thumbs up. Back and oh, I hit the screen. Moving on. The gameplay is fast, it's fun, it's hectic, it's in your face, it's all kinds of crazy action. And the closest game that resembles this kind of gameplay would be Bayonetta. It's not one for one with Bayonetta, even though they're developed by the same developers, Platinum Games. This game is just all about the combos, it's all about the crazy action. It's not the most realistic. Let's just step out of our realism shoes here for a second, put on our fantasy slippers, let's enjoy the ride. Because these cars are going to do some stuff that defies physics in all respects. But personally, I did not mind at all. I mean, at first I kind of did, you know, when a big mechanical robot turns into a vehicle and just jumps into the air and body slams somebody like Optimus Prime does sometimes. There's no way. I mean, you got some hydraulics in it. I mean, that's thinking too deep. This game does not want you to think deep at all about this combo system. It is deep enough to where you could vary it up. It's not as deep as the other Platinum games I've played and they've made. but it is varied enough to where you'll have fun. Now, the problem with the gameplay, though, I have to say, is that it will get repetitive after a while. Luckily, you get to play as other characters. You get to play as Grimla, for example, and Bumblebee, and you've got other characters as well. I think 3 others that you can pick from, and I think Jazz is one of them. Don't quote me on that. I'm trying to think of all this off the top of my head, and it's been a while since I've actually played this game. But yeah, the campaign is pretty short. It's 4 to 5 hours. So I feel that, yeah, it's short, but for what the game does mechanically with the system and play, I think if it were longer than that, everything would grow stale. And it's just long enough to where I think the combat mechanics and all the fighting and all the boss battles. The boss battles are awesome. You're looking at one right now. The boss battles are pretty cool. They're pretty awesome. Some of them are really tough too, but overall, they're very interesting. And there are a few cinematics, actually a lot of cinematics in here, that help flesh out the story. And there's a reason why I haven't talked about the stories, because the story is not really important in this one. I mean, there is a story, but for me personally, it was throwaway. Megatron wants to do something to the world, and you've got to stop him. That's it. That's about as spoiler-free as I can give it, and that's about all you remember from this game, even though it has all these cinematics and stuff. It's about the gameplay, it's about the characters, it's about the crazy attacks, and this game is just, it's great. I mean, if Cybertron series was about the ranged weapons, was about the tactical, was about the ranged gunplay and how well they did it, this is the exact opposite. This is about the melee play. It has ranged guns, yeah, but that's really bland. The range gunplay is just nothing. It's just very generic. It just does the job of being ranged weapons that aren't even as effective as melee. Melee is preferred in every way. It does more damage. It's more fun to do. So overall, the gameplay here, just to summarize everything I just said before I become completely redundant in what I'm saying, is that the gameplay is exciting, it's fun, it's new in terms of the franchise itself and the video games that came out before. It's very inventive. It's very much based in the fantasy world of the cartoon, which means don't go into this with realistic physics or anything. Just enjoy the ride. And for being the game length of 4 to 5 hours, it will probably grow, I'll say, okay, it'll probably grow stale by the 3rd or the 4th hour. But the game throws enough bosses and enough variety to where you might not even notice it initially. But I don't think I'll replay this game again. Let's just put it that way. Gameplay, really fun, but I won't replay it again. Because after you beat it, you could, for weapons and stuff, you really want to do the same thing you've been doing. Like, that's all there is. That's all there really is to it. It's just melee combat and a couple of driving sequences here and there. Maybe a couple of puzzles, not really hard to figure out, and boss battles. And you do it so frequently that if the combat system was just lacking in any department, this would be the most horrible, repetitive game I've ever played. But luckily, Platinum Games put their touch on it, and it's really good. It's really good. I don't think there's a person out there, unless you like into like realistic games. But then what the hell are you doing playing a Transformers game? Nothing's realistic about it. I mean, metal alien robots that can transform into vehicles. Let's just break that down there for a second. How realistic is that? You know, where does the realistic expectations start and where do they end? Yeah. Don't Michael Bay the shit out of this. Don't Michael Bay this. Just go with it, man. I promise you. Just pop that pill of happiness, and enjoy the vivid, lucid lights and dreams you'll be having of big, huge pickup trucks, body slamming people, and then transforming back into a robot before we even know what the hell happened. Sorry, I went on a rant. That's okay. That's okay. Good. Gameplay. Now on to my favorite section, probably the longest section of the entire review, the multiplayer. Alright, multiplayer. There is none. Single player game only. Alright, so I probably rambled on about everything so much that I don't even need this section. Why is this section in here? What does it even mean? Final rating. I don't even give a rating to these games. I don't have a numerical score. I don't give a star rating. What does the rating part of this have to do with anything? I don't even know. It's just a phrase. I put it in here. We're here. It's here. Let's just enjoy it then. This is probably the shortest part of the video. Anyways, by the way. I'm serious this time. So, the end verdict, the quote-unquote final rating here, is going to be a rental. You at least need to rent this game. At least experience it. If you are a Transformers fan, you need to experience it. If you are into close quarters, melee, brawling, combat-heavy, crazy action games, this is for you. This is just it. But I say it's a rental for two main reasons. I might even say a third one. First reason, there's no multiplayer. I already said in the last part. I'm going to say it again. There's no multiplayer. Single player only. You got 5 characters you can play as. No multiplayer, no online, or nothing. That might be a good or a bad thing depending on who you are. Second part is, the story is only 4 to 5 hours long. You'll beat the game in one sitting. And that should say enough for you right there. You'll beat it in once. You pop the disc in, install it, whatever. You play it. You stay playing it. You'll beat it. If you start at lunchtime, you'll end by dinner time. You'll end in between meals. It's your snack. That's what I'm saying. And here's the third bonus one. The gameplay itself, the combat, although very fun, and with 5 characters to choose from that are more or less played differently, it does become repetitive, of course, because there's not much variety in the action. And so eventually you will get tired of playing this game. Regardless of all the unlocks and all the special weapons and stuff and the customization of the characters you can do, you might not want to do it because simply the way you have to do it, you know, the way you have to get those weapons and stuff is the same thing you've been doing this whole time. Yeah, so that's it. It's a rental. It's a great game. Nothing bad with this game. Nothing wrong with it as far as enjoying the game itself. It just doesn't have a longevity or replay value that I feel like it could have had. So thank you guys for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to have figured out the method I am going to use to review these games. But thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back in sessions with Snake Vape. That sounds like a game show host.